Hey team, how's it going? Who's ready for tomorrow's lecture? Too soon? Not ready to think about it yet? As promised, this is a video about the stuff that I was not able to cover in class on Wednesday. Before I go into that, I want to make a note about what you see. This is in my at-home office, and I'm wearing these because I have 3 dogs and they like to bark. So this is my best attempt to make sure that you can hear me clearly and the message is received effectively. What communication? So in this video, what I'm going to talk about, let's see. I'm going to recap Wednesday's class. I have some updates about webcom and the textbook that I just want to throw your way. I want to talk to you about what to expect for Friday's lecture, as well as Monday and Wednesday's class. Let me see, what else did I put on my notes? Talk to you about the speaking assignment, right? That's really important to get through, as well as this thing I'm going to offer coaching sessions that I think everyone might find very beneficial. And finally, I got an email with some brilliant questions from a student that I want to share. I don't have the answers yet for them, and it will make sense when I tell you this, but I will upload another video like this with my answers. I just got to reflect. Curse of being an overthinker. So let's jump into this, shall we? Now that I gave you that roadmap. Thank you so much for your participation and your teamwork on Wednesday. That was a really great class experience for me. I liked seeing how each group worked together. I loved seeing the budding talent of being a public speaker in class. Love that we started to make that first step towards changing the school system and making it more unique and more tailored to each learner in the class as an individual and as a collective. So thank you so much. I am working on developing a Canvas page that puts all of the information up so that we can have a reminder of the things that we came up with in class. My deadline for that is to be Friday night. So let's dive into the update about webcom and the textbook. I'm going to have to put a deadline on registering for webcom, right? But there's still a little bit of time left. And I'll explain the deadline in a second. So I need you guys to register to webcom by September 5th. And the reason is because you're going to need to get to webcom as a part of the speech assignment, introductory speech assignment. And I'll dive into that more a little bit later. If you're still in need of the book to do reading, the library has 3 copies of the textbook on reserves. So reserves works, from my understanding, there are books there that you're able to check out for like 3 hours at a time and do some reading. You guys can do a study hall, a group hall. If you guys want to invite me to it and I have time, let's do that. That sounds like fun. But I wanted to let you know that. So Friday's lecture is going to cover Chapter 3 and might touch on a little bit of Chapter 4. Things I need to remind you of: we meet in Ferguson 100, not Curry 3, that room that we meet in, 321, I don't know. Not in Curry, but we're meeting in Ferguson 100, right? When you come to Ferguson 100, every section of CST 105 that the TAs teach will be there. So I need you to look for me. And I need everyone in class to sit in our section because that's how you're going to get attendance credit for a lecture. Now, attendance is important. It's outlined in the syllabus. So I need to make sure that you guys are sitting together so I can give you the credit that's due for going to lecture. Now, last Friday was great. I was really proud of everyone for participating and being engaged. I saw some great note-taking happening. I was just like, yes, loving my sections. I don't know how I've got so lucky. But I would love to have that continue for the rest of the semester. Heads up, my section will be sitting in front of the class. In front of the lecture hall. So last week we sat in the back. This week and the upcoming weeks we're going to be sitting up front closer to the lecturer. And let's see. I will finalize the grades for the communication intensive questionnaire by Friday night. I know grades are important to everyone. That will be done by Friday night. That's my deadline for a lot of things for class. Monday when we meet together in Curry, we're going to review some of the content on self that was in Chapter 2 because that's going to lead into Chapter 3's facets of identity. And we're also going to talk about benefits of cultural consciousness and communication. And if we have time, we'll discuss a little bit about the reflection prompt. I'm still working on the rubric for the reflection prompt because I want a meaningful message from them, and I don't know what that means in a grade. So stay tuned. But that's not due until, I think, check the calendar. I didn't write it on my notes. Bummer. But we still have time. The assignment's already uploaded to Canvas if you have a question about it. Wednesday of next week, we're going to prepare for the introductory speech a little bit more, get more nitty gritty. So last Wednesday, we ran through the 3 Ps because I wanted everyone to kind of get a feeling of what that process is like haphazardly and sporadically. And y'all did great. I loved it. I loved the walking around the room. I loved the vocal projection. Wednesday, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into content and delivery techniques and reducing public speaking anxiety. I got a question for y'all. Would it be helpful for you if I presented a version of the introductory speech? If I came and fulfilled one of the prompts for the introductory speech and just delivered it in class, would you guys like that demonstration? If that were to happen, I'd give each one of you an evaluation form that I would be using to grade your speech, and I'd let y'all grade me, obviously. And my only concerns about doing this is if I do demonstrate it, I don't want anyone to feel pressure to copy or mimic my style of presentation. Right? Borrow what you want, but please do not try to think that the way I do it is the only way that's going to be perfect. Okay? Also on Wednesday, we're going to have a game plan for the Speaking Center. So once presentations are done and everything is recorded, they're going to be uploaded to Webcom. And you're going to have to go to the Speaking Center with buddies and review your video. Now, I know that is a little bit intimidating seeing yourself give a speech, but I promise it will not kill you. And these speeches are very short, so it's just going to be awkward for that short amount of time, okay? But you're going to get a lot of really great information from the Speaking Center. You're going to get really, I don't want to say valuable because we don't use value feedback over there. They don't use it. They do description feedback. It's just going to be really important. No, not important. What am I trying to say? You're going to get decent feedback about your strengths and areas of improvement that isn't going to try to break you or shame you or anything like that. And you're going to learn how to give this kind of feedback for you and your buddy. Okay? And if there's time on Wednesday, we'll dip into an activity about chapter 4, which is listening, right? So I'm going to scroll on down. Let's dive into this introductory speech a little bit more. So it is uploaded on Canvas under the assignments. If you look on it, let me see, I have it pulled up over here. You see the rationale, you see the objectives. That's cool if you want to. The second line under objectives, choose one of the following prompts to introduce yourselves to the class. So you have 3 options on a little bit of how you want to structure your introductory speech. Before I jump into this, I need to let you know this speech is the purpose of it is so that we can establish a baseline of where you're at, because there's no reason to try to evaluate you at a higher level or a lower level. No, that doesn't benefit anyone. I need to know where you're at as a speaker, as well as for me to give you feedback. Okay, so we know where we can go to make sure that we are meeting those public speaking goals. Okay, not really a speech we need to worry about failing, but as I say that, you do need to practice. Don't wing it at class. Give it a few practices, okay? On the assignment, you'll see the 3 prompts. 4 prompts. I lied. 4 prompts. First one is My Life Album. This option allows you to choose songs to represent an era or part of your past, present, and future. And that's a huge theme for this speech. We want to know something about your past, present, and future. If you notice, this introductory speech kind of aligns with a lot of the content on self, right? So option 1, My Life Music Album, right? Number 2, What's in My Bag, right? So if you have things that represent your past that's meaningful to you, your present, or your future, put it in the bag, and that's going to structure your main points for the speech. Option 3, My Life in Pictures. Same thing. These can be hard copy pictures. These can be digital pictures. Whatever you want. Last one is my choice. If you do choose my choice, you need to meet with me. I want to make sure that we have a game plan and that just meet with me. Let's talk it out. Either before or after class, office hours, something along those lines, right? But I like to always give you an option to do your own remix on a speech. If you're like, I'm not about songs, I'm not about photos, I'm not about objects, I don't really know what's left, but let's talk it out real quick. I want to make sure that at least we're on the same page of what at least needs to happen. On the assignments page, you'll see the evaluation form that I'll be using, and you'll see a self-critique. Don't really worry about the self-critique yet. We'll talk more about that next Wednesday. And Wednesday we're just gonna prepare for the speech. So this video is gonna be posted in discussions because discussion makes this more of a transactional. Nope. See, it's that an interactive model where I'm sending you a message and you're like, sweet. And then you can comment on the discussion board and be like, wait, I have a question about this, coach. What's up? And I can be like, great question. And that way, if other students have the same questions, we're all learning together. Loving it. So the thing I want to offer are coaching sessions. I'm going to develop this again tomorrow after lecture. And it's going to be through Google Calendar. I'm going to have 30-minute appointments available to all students to meet with me and talk about and prepare for this introductory speech. If you take advantage of this, I need you to have at least 1 to 2 focus areas and figure out where you are right now and where you want to end within those 30 minutes. Like, give me a goal timeline. I'll hit it. But I need you to take the lead on advocating for what you need, what kind of help you need, and I will help with whatever you need to get there. Sound good? So I will be sending that out probably tomorrow. Anyone, there's no extra credit, but I want to at least have this opportunity. I feel like it's my responsibility to have this opportunity for you. It's your responsibility to take advantage of it. All right, last one. Okay, so I got an email from a brilliant student after class on Wednesday was like, hey, what do I need to do to be successful in this class, right? I had all of the students tell me what your expectations of me in the class were. Student was like, hey, what are your expectations of us in the class? And I was like, that's brilliant. I'm going to need to do some reflecting on it and make sure that I mean what I say, So Friday, I'm probably going to do another video like this because I hate writing, right? But below this, I'm going to upload the outline of my speaking notes right now in case you miss anything and I have a tendency to ramble. Also, side note, I will be uploading a public speech prep. What did I say? Public speaking support page. And it's going to have a list of references that I love to use when I'm getting ready for a speech, right? Take a look at it. You don't have to use it if you don't like it, but I at least want to have it available for y'all in case you want it. All right? So I've talked to you about how awesome Wednesday was, how much it meant to me. I gave you the deadline of when I'm going to get that culture contract up on Canvas, Friday. Right? I talked to you about the updates on Webcom and the textbook. So if you still don't have it, you can take advantage of my office hours or at the library because they have 3 copies in the reserves. Talk to you about what to expect tomorrow during lecture, which we will meet in Ferguson 100, and you'll be sitting in my section, Coach Taylor, and we'll be having a great time. Talk to you about what's going on Monday. We're going to do some content stuff. And then Wednesday, we're going to really dive into this introductory speech, okay? And then gave you some quick snapshots of the speech assignment, as well as the coaching sessions and an update that I'm going to let you know what my expectations are. This is important stuff. So with all of that said, I hope you guys like this method of communication. I know everyone's really fond of the coaching report, so I hope this is just a little bit more beneficial. I hope I'm entertaining. But with that said, I hope everyone has a great night. Get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning, and we'll get our communication on, and Coach is out. if I can find the